Well, hello, Thrivers. Welcome back to my channel, Thrive Life Care. I'm Shelby. I'm glad to see you here today. It's another October beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hope yours is too. Today, I want to talk about the age of Aquarius and the exposure of all the ugly truths coming out. That's the age of Aquarius. You heard 2024 is year of exposure. But what I wanted to talk to you the most about is the misogyny that goes on in our society. It seems like more and more men really dislike women. And you got to ask why. Why are men hating on women? Well, you have to look at where they're coming from. Where is a man coming from? Well, it used to be that the man was always the head of the household. He made all the rules, he made the decisions. What he said was law, basically. And that's because he worked all day, made all the money, and the wife stayed home or the woman stayed home and she had the kids and raised the kids and kept the house and cooked and cleaned. And, he wanted dinner on the table when he got home at 5 o'clock and wanted a clean house and his laundry done, and he wanted sex when he could have it, and she needed someone to take care of her and pay all the bills, and so she just had to go along. Well, that's not where we're at today. Society's no longer like that. Women have to work. A lot of women do it all for themselves. A man shouldn't expect a woman is going to be like they were in the 60s. A new age, new day, new age, new way. But, a lot of them will go back to their childhoods and, they were in a dysfunctional family. Maybe their parents didn't get along, but you got to remember back in the day that people didn't get divorced either. The divorces really started happening, I would say, probably in the 70s. Your parents could have been stuck in a horrible marriage and just didn't divorce because it wasn't acceptable. And so you grew up seeing a dysfunctional relationship and thought that was normal. And it may be that, they watched their mama hate their daddy. And, it was mama drama, neglect, and abuse. And because as little boys, they were never taught to love themselves. They were taught to hate and disguise anything feminine within themselves. And so naturally, they don't like the feminine. Is it because they have a lot of feminine traits within themselves? And because of their upbringing, they feel ashamed of it? And the extreme of that is so much femininity that they actually are gay. They're attracted to men because they feel very feminine. There are some men even that say they're trapped. They're a female trapped in a male's body. So you never really know what's going on inside of their head because people only show you the surface. But I think that could be one reason some men hate women is because on the inside, they are attracted to men and they hate that about themselves. So I think that could be another reason. And so then they dislike and resent a true female because they're female. They're allowed, expected to have feminine traits. I think that's possibly some of it. Can you imagine growing up hearing, boys don't cry, don't show your emotions, it's not okay to cry, no sissies allowed, oh, grow up, grow a pair, get some balls, get a backbone, grow up, don't be soft, be tough, be brave, be a man. So they were taught to hate femininity, and especially if it was within themselves. So could we call them femiphobic? Maybe. Maybe. They hate the feminine. So I'd call that femiphobic, feminine phobic. And not only that, women are really on the rise. They have been on the rise, okay? They're educated, they have careers, they make money, and they're complete on their own. They don't need a man to buy a car, they don't need a man to buy a house, and anymore you don't even need a man to have a baby. You just go right on down to the sperm bank. In vitro fertilization. So, is that why a lot of men are now hating on women? And there's a whole movement called Men Going Their Own Way. I think it's MGTOW. MGTOW. That's been going on for at least a decade. Is it the men are intimidated? Are they jealous and envious of these women because women are rising? And by the way, have you been to a woman doctor lately? I know of 2 incidences personally where 2 female surgeons outperformed 2 male surgeons. Same surgeries, 2 different people, okay? Those women got it down to a science, which it is a science anyway. But I'm talking about they don't waste your time. They're not parts and pieces cutters unless that's what needs to happen. They know it forwards and backwards, inside and out. Whereas the men doctors appeared to be incompetent. So that's why I think a lot of these men are hating on women. Because women do it right the first time. We might have to read the directions, but we'll do it right the first time. And half-ass is not generally our way. That's why a woman can get it done in 15 minutes versus a man takes 45. Because he's got to redo his. He didn't do it right the first time. So maybe that's why a lot of these men are hating on women today. Maybe they need a testosterone injection weekly. Because they butt hurt. And some of them are literally butt hurt. Their butts are hurting. Because they're so mad at the women that they moving on over to the bussy, the booty. So their butts are hurting. Yep, I'd say the tables have turned. Men used to be able to do whatever they wanted to their woman and get away with it. They could rage, verbally abuse them, sexually abuse them, beat on them, spit on them, call them names, cuss them out, and get by with it. And the woman took it because she couldn't take care of herself. She didn't know how she'd make it without him. But now the women are making it without them, realizing that they don't have to put up with that type of abuse just because they are a woman. So she has her own power now. And he doesn't have agency over her anymore. And they're mad. Their butt hurt. Like I said, many of them's butts are really hurting over it. And men resent this because they've lost their power over women. A lot of these men are carrying a spirit of hate and resentment because of it. They can't get over their egos. But, if they'd stop reducing a woman down to a maid service and a taxi service and a booty call and a short order cook, a porn star, all these things, if they would see a woman as a real human being with feelings and emotions that deserves just as much respect and attention as his does, things might be a little different. That's why childhood traumas have to be healed. And when you're in a relationship, you and your partner need to have the same level of emotional maturity and emotional intelligence and be able to regulate your emotions and be realistic. You want to know why these men today are hating on the women? It's because the women are moving on up. They've moved up the ladder. Many times they've passed the men. And like I said, the 2 doctors, the recent examples I've seen of 2 surgeries, same surgeries, the female doctors, hands down, 10 out of 10. Now, one male doctor, I would have gave him about a 3 out of 10. And the other one, probably a 7 out of 10. He wasn't too bad. But hands down, the female doctors both blew those male doctors away in their knowledge and their skill, as well as their office staff. World of difference. So, hope that helps you. Hope somebody needed to hear that. Come back and see what I have for you often. And thank you for watching today. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.